On to the ESPN Daily. Good morning! For those of us who thought a global panic would subdue the hatred between the Dodgers and the Astros, congrats, we played ourselves. In other news, Joe Kelly is the hero baseball needs right now. Here's your ESPN Daily. Listen up, the NBA is back. After more than 4 months on hiatus, the NBA returns to play tomorrow from its bubble in Orlando, Florida. The players have acclimated to their resort setting, and the teams are finally set to tip off. Which teams will benefit most from the long pause? Which players have the most to prove? And will we see Zion Williamson in action with the Pelicans on Thursday? On today's episode of the ESPN Daily Podcast, Jackie McMullen joins to pick the top contenders and explain why she believes Lou Williams about his high-scrutinized Magic City / Buffalo Wing incident outside the bubble. Why she believes that he only left to get the wings, not that he just wanted to go to a strip club. And it was just extremely convenient that the wings happened to be named after him. Okay. Hey, maybe they're really good wings. You never know. Things to care about. Talking about the finals. In some ways, it feels like just yesterday a game between the Utah Jazz and the Oklahoma City Thunder was being called off, signaling the unofficial beginning to the NBA's coronavirus-induced hiatus. In some ways, it feels like that was a whole other lifetime ago. Now, more than 4 months later, our favorite players are taking their talents back to the court to finish what they started. As the NBA restart begins in Orlando, Florida on Thursday night, our experts. Okay. Sorry, sometimes it's hard to see what is being cut off by the side of my screen. Our experts are getting serious about the most wonderful time of the year, the postseason. Will we be watching an all Los Angeles Western Conference Finals? What are the chances Giannis Antetokounmpo and company don't make it out of the Eastern Conference? Here are our insiders' East Finals, West Finals, and NBA Finals predictions, plus a bonus. Who wins the West number 8 seed? You can also check out the final NBA power rankings before the restart, as our insiders shared the best and worst case scenarios for all 22 teams. Don't say I never gave you anything. No bubble for the NFL. Last month, as the NFL was finalizing its plans for the 2020 season, epidemiologist Zachary Binney advocated a severe strategy to anyone who would listen. The league, Binney said, would need 32 self-contained market bubbles to keep its essential staff healthy during COVID-19 spikes this fall and winter. A market bubble would require each team to house hundreds of employees, players, coaches, medical officials, and other staffers, all day, every day for at least 5 months. The NFL and NFL Players Association chose differently, of course, and already their decision to give players and coaches access to local communities has drawn scrutiny. Early returns from the NBA, WNBA, and professional soccer indicate that bubbles are effective. The MLB's experience with the recent Miami Marlins outbreak has exposed the flaws of anything short of that, which begs the question, can the NFL make it through training camp, let alone a 16-game season and full postseason, without a major outbreak sans bubble? Kevin Seifert examines how the NFL plans to navigate the season while relying on defenses that are fundamentally similar to those that have already broken down in baseball. I really, 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 really wish that we could just somehow put the toothpaste back in the tube and reverse this, the whole public perception of this pandemic. Because it's barely deadly. It's deadly for people who are already, close to death. Or, have life-threatening issues that they don't necessarily have to be close to death. But people who already have life-threatening issues, such as old age or obesity, diabetes, that kind of thing. Those people are the ones who should be careful. The rest of us should not have to deal with this crap. We scroll Twitter so you don't have to. Look what the man who I called the Ferrari. Look what the man who I call the Ferrari just got. Patrick Mahomes. At Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is making money moves. On Tuesday, the Kansas City Royals announced the Chiefs quarterback, who cashed in this offseason with a $503 million contract that will keep him in Kansas City through 2031, would be joining their new ownership group as a part owner. The terms of Mahomes' stake in the team weren't detailed, but it was enough of an investment to get him a piece of a franchise that's valued at $1 billion. Mahomes' spending didn't stop there. The Super Bowl MVP bought himself a brand new Ferrari 812 Superfast, as one does. According to Car and Driver, his new whip starts at $338,000 and packs a V12 engine with 788 horsepower. Have I mentioned it is good to be Mahomes? Yeah. So he did one probably smart financial investment and one splurge. All good. Things to watch. Now we got bad blood. Last night, Joe Kelly sent Twitter into a frenzy and became an instant legend among Dodgers faithful thanks to his erratic bottom of the sixth in Houston. Kelly threw a 3-0 fastball. Where was I? Kelly threw a 3-0, I guess that's how you say it, fastball. I don't know baseball. I'm sorry, whatever. Behind Alex Bregman and nearly hit Yuli Gurriel and Carlos Correa. After Kelly struck out Correa, leaving 2 runners stranded to maintain a 3-run lead, the Dodgers' hard-throwing reliever taunted Correa and had some words for him as he made his way to the dugout. The two then began jawing at each other, prompting both benches to clear, but no punches were thrown. It wasn't Kelly potentially intentionally throwing behind Bregman or striking out Correa that got me fired up, but the pitcher's cold-blooded decision to let out a demonstrative yawn and stick his tongue out at his foes after he did it. Savage. Okay. Overheard. My level of concern went from about an 8 to a 12. This thing really hits home now that you've seen half a team get infected and go from one city to another. I am not going to lie or sugarcoat anything. It's not good for them. It's not good for anybody. Nationals manager Dave Martinez on members of the Miami Marlins testing positive for the coronavirus. One thing I haven't heard is if the players that have it are actually being affected by it. Just let them play. Remember when? Another day, another notable NFL retirement anniversary. On this date in 2013, Donovan McNabb announced his retirement from the NFL. Now is where we recall just how good McNabb was at the whole quarterback thing. 234 touchdowns to only 117 interceptions, and an interception rate of only 2.2%, which puts him just outside the top 10 for lowest all time. Until next time, remember, according to Dusty Baker, Joe Kelly told Carlos Correa, "Nice swing, bitch," following the strikeout. That's got to be up there with Scottie Pippen's "The Mailman Doesn't Deliver on Sundays" in the Trash Talk Hall of Fame. Brief aside, have Joe Kelly and Bill Hader ever been seen in the same room together? Asking for a friend. This has been your ESPN Daily for Wednesday, July 29th, 2020. Are you saying they look alike? Not sure about that. That's the end of the daily ESPN.